All heard the messaging that if you just eat right, move more, sleep well, and manage your stress, you can prevent or reverse almost any illness, right? But what happens if you're doing all of that and you're still struggling? I'm Dr. Rebecca Berens. I'm a family physician and founder of Vida Family Medicine. And in this video, I'm going to talk about what lifestyle medicine often overlooks, which is the role of genetics, the environment, and why blaming yourself for your health isn't just unhelpful, it's actively harmful. So let's reframe this with compassion and real science. So, first of all, there are a lot of genetic and epigenetic factors, as well as environmental factors, that contribute to our health. And those environmental factors include infectious diseases, the physical environment that we live in, socioeconomic factors, and these are big contributors to our health outcomes. And we know this. This is well documented. And so what I often see is this sort of messaging that if we just follow the perfect lifestyle, we will be able to manage all of those risk factors and prevent a disease from happening or reverse it once it's happened. And the fact is, it's just not true. And oftentimes what happens is patients are doing the best they can with their lifestyle within the confines of the environment that they live in, and they're still struggling. Their numbers still don't look perfect. They still have high blood pressure. They still have high cholesterol. They still have blood sugar issues, whatever it is, but they are feeling like they have failed because they have not managed to reverse it with just their lifestyle. And medication is recommended, and then they are told by influencers or social media or people in their community that, oh, just do this lifestyle thing, just make this change and you can reverse it. You don't have to take medication. And the messaging that underlies that is medication is some sort of failure. Like if you need to take medication, that means that you didn't try hard enough with your lifestyle, you're a failure. In reality, medication is a tool of modern medicine that we have available to address those factors that cannot be overcome by lifestyle changes alone. The next point is we are not in full control of our environment or even our lifestyle, truthfully. I think a lot of people think that they should be able to make all of these habit changes. They should be able to do all of these things that would be ideal to improve their health. I should be able to eat a certain way. I should be able to exercise more. I should be able to sleep better. And yes, there are certainly choices that we can make in our day-to-day lives to improve all of those things, but ultimately we are not in control. If you live in an environment that is a car necessary environment, which is a lot of places in the US, you have to have a car, you have to drive to get anywhere. It's not safe to walk in your neighborhood. The reality is you are just going to not be walking as much as someone who lives in a neighborhood or a part of the world where there is more walking friendly cities. And that's a city planning issue. You cannot control that. We can certainly add exercise and movement into our day in other smaller ways, but that takes time away from other things that you need to be doing. And if you're a person that lives in a suburban US area that is car dependent, you have a full-time job, you have children that have places to go to, there's a limited amount of time in your day that you're going to be able to get up and physically move around. And you can do the best that you can with that, but ultimately you are limited, and it's by your environment that you are limited. And I think, again, people are sort of demonized, like, well, if you would just do this, get up earlier, try this exercise program, do this thing, you would be able to do it. It's just not realistic for the lives that most of us are living, particularly in modern society. In general, some of the biggest health improvements that we've seen in human history have come from system level changes, not from individual health behavior changes. So, for example, water sanitation, huge contributor to the reduction of diarrheal illnesses that are infectious based from water supply or from wastewater. And that is something, again, an individual person does not have control over. That has an environmental change that requires a system level response that's coordinated by the system as a whole. And one individual does not have a choice in that matter. Another huge improvement that we've seen in human health in history is with vaccine campaigns. And again, as an individual, you can choose to get a vaccine or not get a vaccine, but you cannot choose to have a vaccine created for a condition by yourself. You cannot choose as an individual whether the others in your community have chosen to get vaccinated. And so there, again, are these community-based system-level health improvements that we know have to be made that we as individuals do not have control over. Things like our food supply. Depending on where you live in the US or in any part of the world, the food that's available to you in a local grocery store, convenience store, you are not in control of what they stock or sell there. And there are definitely patients who live in communities where the closest place for them to buy food has very, very minimal options, and for them to go and be able to purchase a more wider variety of healthy foods or foods that contain all of the nutrients, fiber, protein, fat, all of these things, they are just not able to access that without getting on a bus, getting in a car, again, that travel that's required. And I've worked in a variety of environments in DC, in Philadelphia, in center city of Houston, and patients live in a variety of different places, and they just have minimal control over what's available to them. Now, of course, from what's available, you get to make the choice of which options you're going to select, but you are limited by what's available to you. And so again, it's just important to keep in mind that we're not in control of our environment, and we can make the best choices that we can make, but we cannot control what's available as a choice. And so I think what I often hear from patients or see on social media is this impression that people are given from the concept of lifestyle medicine that you as an individual are in full control of your health outcomes. And people then, when they have a health problem, start to internalize this sort of like guilt or shame or feeling of judgment that, oh, I have this condition because I just didn't try hard enough, I didn't do the right things. Maybe you made some choices that in the past that you wish you hadn't made, and now you feel like I caused this to myself, I did this to myself. And really, that sort of mindset and thinking has a really negative impact on our mental health, on our self-esteem, on our social functioning, and it can result in people kind of swinging the opposite direction. And now I'm going to follow these super rigid habits. I'm only going to do this certain thing a certain way. If this specific food is not available to me, I'm just not going to eat. I'm going to skip all of these family gatherings so I can make sure that I do my exercises a certain way. And again, you can see how this just sort of takes away the life part of your life, the living life, enjoying it with other people, because you're so focused on being perfect. And, of course, if you're seeing a physician that's a lifestyle medicine physician, they understand this nuance and they are ideally talking about this with patients. But where I come and see this a lot is on social media from influencers who may or may not have any health credentials, usually are selling some sort of supplement or plan or program or something like that. And the marketing is just very predatory. It's taking advantage of this sense that people have that, like, I wish I could do something to better my health. And, not to say there's anything wrong with trying to make habit changes. It's absolutely beneficial for everyone. And that's something that, myself as a physician and all of the physicians that I know and associate with think is very important in educating patients and helping them adjust their habits to make their lifestyle more balanced and as healthy as possible. But by the same token, we have to recognize that we are not in full control over this as an individual. Your doctor's not in full control. You are not in full control. And so we do the best that we can. And then for those things that we can't change or control on our own, we use the tools that modern medicine has available to us. And so this is something that I think is really important. It's been a conversation I've been having over and over with patients and with colleagues in the last couple of weeks. So I just wanted to jump on here and talk about it. I would love to hear your thoughts. And just at the end of the day, you deserve better than the kind of superficial lifestyle medicine advice that you get on social media. You deserve better than predatory marketing and people hawking supplements. And please find yourself a good physician that is able to talk through this nuance with you and walk with you in your journey to get you to the best health that you can be at. And that's exactly what we do at Vida Family Medicine. So I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments.